Good afternoon, and welcome to the Institute of Immutable Laws. Today, I will be covering a new case for Malcolm Jamal Warner. Okay, before I get into his case, I just want to give a disclaimer that all the readings covered on my channel are solely based on interpretation and what the spread shows in front of me. Okay, I always say that energy is apt to change, so anything that shows up here is changeable and is not set in stone. Okay, so the goal of why I'm doing this reading today is to pretty much get some background information into Mr. Warner's life and what was taking place that transpired before we got the notice of what took place. Okay, so I just really want to, since we already have the backstory, I just want to dive in a little deeper to see if there's any information that maybe the news left out. Maybe there's some details that we can use to better understand who he was as an individual and the dynamics and of the individuals and the circumstances around him at that time. Okay? All right. So let's go into it. He was born August 18th, 1970. Okay. Smart guy. All right. I'm getting this idea that he was very sure about something. Okay. Whatever that means. Sure about something could have been being very sure about a relationship, being very sure about a trip, financial dealing, and investments of some kind. Okay. But let's look into it to see what the cards say. Okay, so the energy underneath is the Four of Wands. All right, I believe that his energy is Leo. All right, so August 18th is around Leo time of year. Okay, the Four of Wands in this deck. This is Urban Tarot. It's very non-traditional. You've got an array of different designs, and those designs pretty much give you insight into what may have been taking place with the individual at that time as well. Okay, the Four of Wands is completion in this deck, but typically when we see this card, we think about foundations, we think about home environments and anywhere that the individual may have deemed to be stable. Okay, this is stability here underneath. All right, so what I'm picking up, because in some cases I try to channel to see if there's anything that I can gather from the actual card, will be I am getting something about lock. So something may have needed to be locked. This could have been a case. This could have been a car door. This could have been a house door. This could be, what would you say, a safe where you keep very personal items like jewelry and money and heirlooms, right? So I feel like right when I went on that point, I do feel like he may have been a beneficiary. Okay, so I'm not sure too much about his family history. I don't know too much about his family history, but I would say that he may have been a beneficiary of some kind to some investment that either his father made, like a will or something that his father had, or like a grandfather or great grandfather. So there's definitely something here that he kept very quiet, and maybe only a few select individuals may have known about this particular inheritance that he was owed, if that makes any sense. Okay, I'm doing the best that I can with the interpretation. And it feels like that aspect of his life could have been under a very tight lock and key, which means that he was very private, but also he was private with particular people. So people that he may have been financially involved with, like an accountant or an investor or whoever was responsible for his own personal finances. I feel like even to some degree, those individuals, he may have kept certain details of his private financial life very separately from even some of those people, if that makes any sense. Okay. I do believe that people that he deemed to be very close to him in his life, those few, very few, could even be just four people that he may have shared certain aspects of his private life with, especially when it comes to the fact that of being some type of beneficiary. So him himself, or I don't know if he had a situation where he had beneficiaries. I don't know what type of account. I don't know what type of account he had, but I'll give an example. So typically with investments, we're talking like, Fidelity. I'm just giving an example. Fidelity, a Roth IRA, actors and musicians and athletes have Coogan accounts. Like all those things will be considered investments that are typically made when someone is very young and they can't access until a certain age. So he could have had that for himself. But then he probably could have also had that for his child, if that makes any sense. And whatever that was, it was under a very tight lock and key, which means that only certain people really knew about it pertaining to him, if that makes any sense. Okay? His starting point has the Six of Victory. Okay, so this is his energy. Typically, it's a very straightforward card. If you look, the person is about to win a race. they're about to win a race. They're about to cut a ribbon. It kind of gives me that idea of cutting a ribbon. So I think that at one point he did have his name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And it's typically, I think, a red ribbon that they have to cut to get their name put on the Walk of Fame. All right, that could have been one scenario. And if I look in the back, there's also a bridge. Okay, so a bridge could be metaphoric. A bridge could be literally bridging gaps between his personal and private life. Knowing what to say about his personal life to certain people, and just to make sure that it's telling me something about a backhanded compliment that someone could have given him. Like a very backhanded compliment. I don't know who that energy is, who may have been responsible for the commentary with his, it could have been what I was channeling before with his private financial life, or even his being the fact that he was a very private individual. Somebody could have thrown in a very interesting backhanded compliment or backhanded remark in regards to something that he got. So that could have been winning an award, getting his name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, just not being too open with very private things, and someone may have been jeering about it with him. So meanwhile, he's spending time having victory, but someone isn't too, what would you say? Someone isn't too proud of him. Like someone may not have been too proud of him behind the scenes. It could have been another fire sign. Could have been another Aries, Leo, or Sag that energy is coming off as. Okay? The Two of Wands is here. The Two of Dominion. Okay? So Dominion, we think about balance. We think about some type of truth coming to light with this as well. And I'm getting something about a friend. So the fire energy that's coming through, yes, is him. And I also feel like a friend is here. So the Six of Wands with a backhanded compliment is also coming from a friend with this. And the Two of Wands is coming from a friend. All right. And I keep getting truth about a friend. The truth about a friend is coming out, or it came out with the Two of Wands. It is giving me this feeling of what a friend is owed. is giving me that idea. That could be why I was getting all that beneficiary information also. It could be what a friend is owed, or something is stolen in regards to something that he had going on with a friend. All right. And it's giving me this idea of financial information, or it's taking me back to the idea of an award, like getting some type of award. So before I move any further, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. Here, underneath, was giving me the idea of the fact that, one, he may have been a beneficiary of some kind, like whether that be in his personal and private life, like through his own family, like he may have been a beneficiary and he may have been owed something, or maybe something about that was under a very tight lock and key, right? That's one element of it. Another situation is that he had his own stuff that he kept very private from a friend, you know, and there was some jealousy and envy surrounding that friend with something that he had going on financially that he may have been really quiet about with that particular friend. It could be another fire sign. And that individual's noticing like he's getting awards and he's getting his name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it's creating, I'm getting a lot of envy, like the Six of Wands and Two of Wands. There's a lot of envy there, okay? There's a lot of envy. And I'm also getting this idea that something is also stolen. So it could have been an award that was stolen. It could have been an amount of money that was stolen. It could be some type of accreditation. I'm also getting may have been stolen or he didn't receive. And it could have been from a college or a university, some type of accreditation as well. See, awards and accolades, all those things do come in award form, whether it's a cash award or something little, you know, something tangible, like something that he can kind of look at, like he can look up to, or something financial as well. And a friend was envious of that, or a friend tried to steal something there. So I'll give you a perfect example. There's a university that, this is what I'm feeling also. There's a university that he was connected to, that the university he either got the award from or they owed him the award. So whether it's a cash award or it's a cash award, or it's like a paper award, like a diploma, some type of accreditation, right? That's one. Then a friend is envious of that. Like a friend is jealous or envious of that and tried to steal it. So especially if it's money related, yeah, I could see where someone would try to take it or get it. It's taxed. Like somebody could have been trying to take it and then it's also taxed. Or I don't know if it was a tax exempt, some type of tax exempt award that he may have been getting from a college, some type of university. But I do feel like he could have also been on a board of a university. I don't know what school he went to. I don't know if he went to Howard. I don't know. He could have went to HBCU. I'm not too sure. I didn't look into that. But whatever college or university he was a part of, somebody has that there. Or he was supposed to get it, if that's the case, but somebody tried to take it, or I don't know if they succeeded or not, or they're actively trying to access that. There may have been something else there that I feel like he got one award, but there was something else that he may not have received, and someone could have really talked their way into getting it. That's what it feels like to me. Someone talked their way into getting that. And that's where the idea of something being stolen is coming from. Okay? I do feel like he tried to get the wife involved with the Two of Wands and the Six of Wands, trying to get the wife. That's why the Four of Wands is there, trying to get like somebody in his family involved with trying to figure out how to get something back, or trying to retrieve something that somebody tried to take from a college or university. So if it's not a college or university as well, I mean, he could have been doing so many different things in his life, or that he does. It's important that the wife was involved, or the wife, like there could have been some type of investigation surrounding. I also get a chapter, like a chapter that he may have been a part of, like a fraternity of some kind, like a chapter for a fraternity in a school, and something there was also stolen, or I don't know, or something was really backhanded compliment wise regarding somebody in a fraternity that he was a part of, on the board of a college or university. Okay, the president has the Ten of Wands, which is oppression. There's a lot of fire here. There's a lot of fire. All right, so oppression is here. So we already know what oppression is about. We know that oppression comes around when something doesn't go our way. We know, or somebody else's way. Like somebody could have been. There's an element of depression with finances. There's an element of depression with knowing that somebody wasn't really for him that he was connected to, like whether that be in his family, or whether that be in the family, or on the board of a school, or in some type of whatever he was doing. Somebody wasn't really for him, and it caused some type of depression on their end or on his end. I do feel like he probably went to therapy. Like therapy was also really important for him with the Ten of Wands. And the Six, he was successful with the Six of Wands, but because of individuals around him that he probably didn't really trust, that also caused depression. That caused some type of anxiety within him as well. And on this card, there's like, if you, the imagery doesn't necessarily have to relate to him particularly, but it's, there's a black man here and he's locked up, right? He's in jail. So that could have been literally how he was feeling. Or another interpretation is the fact that he could have been on the verge of getting somebody locked up that he found out was, there's a longtime friend that was on the verge of getting locked up. A longtime friend. It could have been 10 years he knew someone. 10, 12, 16 years. He had this friend that could have been... There's a lot of fire here, so the friend could be embodying fire energy as well, too. Somebody has fire in their chart. And that individual he knew for 10 plus years. And he may have been finding out that this person isn't really, they're not really for me. I don't like what they're doing. And he could have done something that caused them to potentially go into jail. I don't know if this is someone that already went, that he knew, or they were on the verge of going into jail for something that they stole, or something that they saw someone else steal, if that's the case, or for not speaking up about some type of there's like some type of documentation. Maybe somebody wasn't speaking up about documentation, that they saw something shadily taking place with it, and that could have been, that individual could have been on the verge of getting locked up for being involved with the secrecy surrounding that document or documents. And it could be related to something being taxed, or not knowing that something was taxed, if that's the case, or something being stolen, or a beneficiary of some kind, information like that. Okay? The future has the Five of Disappointment, which is grief. And then his instincts has the Queen of Wands. So there's a lot of fire here. Queen of Wands is the public defender. So at one point I do feel like he may, privately, I'm feeling like he may have been in court. Like, it's the public defender is a fire sign, female, an Aries, Leo, Sag woman. But then I also feel like he could have been in court at one point, or he was planning to go or take someone to court. What is that term? Defamation? Hold on. I think it's called defamation. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Let me check that. One quick second. Defamation.
According to Wikipedia, defamation.
So defamation is the communication that inquires a third party's reputation and causes a legal redressable injury. Okay, so if there's an element here involving court, is defamation related here. is what I'm picking up. That's the word that came to mind once this individual came to the surface. Is defamation involving them or something stolen. Something stolen. I'm getting a trickster too. This individual is trickster. They got tricks. They got like they have legal tricks if that's the case. They have legal tricks if that makes any sense. They're very crafty individual. They know how to get around things. They could even be on the board of a school that he was in or in charge of looking after files and profiles here as well. But this individual, I'm also feeling his acting career. This person was very important to his acting career. And defamation, there's something defamation related to why this individual is involved, connected to his acting career. Like someone, like a lawsuit of some kind is what is happening. And there may have been a payout for him and his family, because he was still acting, a payout for him and his family or his child or for him. That's why I was getting it was very private. There was a payout for him and his family, but someone didn't want him to get to it, or they made it very difficult for him to obtain that for some reason. Or somebody wanted to, something about that is stolen. And that's why the defamation term was coming to my mind. Something about it was stolen. Like it's some type of issue. Whether in regard to like a school and his acting career. Something with the school and the acting career. Or the two of them are tied. The two of those entities are tied as well. It's interesting. The Hierophant here, sign of Taurus next to the Six of Wands. So there could be a Taurus in the situation. Typically when the Hierophant shows up here, we're talking about marriage. We're talking about bonds, relationships. It could be legal. Like if you look at the card, a lot of these, and this looks like jail. This individual is in front of a court. So I do feel like what he had going on was definitely court related. Like either he had already done it, or like the heavy court energy makes it feel like that was to happen in the future. Like a court hearing was to happen in the future, related to like a defamation or some type of lawsuit, some type of payout that was to be received in connection with a school and or his acting career, with the Hierophant next to the Six of Wands. So the victory aspect is hearing that something is going to come to a close, like hearing that is going to come to fruition if someone is served, if that makes any sense. If somebody gets served in time or whatever it is. Somebody was due to be served. A friend, someone on the board of a school, someone from what was the other message I was getting? Like some type of like a chapter. I know they call them, I don't know nothing about that culture. A chapter, like a fraternity or somebody from there. Somebody was due to be served. Someone was due to be served in regards to like a lawsuit or something defamation related in his acting career. It was close. Like I'm looking at the Hierophant and something was very close. Like he was very close to getting that done. Or somebody was close to this individual. Could be like a lawyer, or they could be embodying a lawyer. That's why they're sitting here in the accomplishment. Like he could have sat and discussed with his lawyer, and XYZ is going to take place at ABC. Like we're cutting close to. There's some findings I'm also getting that a lawyer was helping him obtain findings as well. I'm getting something about pictures and findings. It could be cameras, like maybe he had cameras set up somewhere or something, and somebody managed to get that for him. And someone was also on the verge of getting sued. Like there's a lot going on here. Someone may have been on the verge, something around him. He was trying to. It feels like he was trying to sue somebody. He was on the verge of suing somebody, or something's going on with a friend, and a friend was trying to steal something, or someone involved something that he had going on with his acting career. Someone like there's a major lawsuit that I feel like the lawsuit is very. There are only select few people that know about this lawsuit, whatever it is. It's like you know, like for example, here in New York, they have like the Josephina lawsuit, and that's related to anything, you know, any type of abuse towards a person that has a disability, and they could sue, like if they're a part of an agency or like a program that causes, you know, like an injury takes place, or there's some type of if maltreatment is found towards that individual or individuals, that they can sue. There that can turn into a lawsuit and a payout potentially. And I do, that's just an example, but I feel like something around him was happening like that. But only a select few people know about that lawsuit, if that makes any sense. And that could have been connected to a chapter that he was in, connected to a board of a school, or that's connected to his acting career. Like something happened with his acting career and a lawsuit, or someone was about to be sued. Like he could have been in the workings to sue somebody. That's why there's energy of a lawyer is coming through, or something going on with a beneficiary and something being owed to him and somebody taking that or trying to take it. But whatever he had, that was interconnected to his career, and also some type of lawsuit that he was one of a small percentage of people that were impacted by the lawsuit. Could have been related to the Bill Cosby situation. I don't know. I don't feel that. It feels like something separate that is very private. And it could have been something private in the sense it could have been, it has something to do with his childhood that I feel like some people that he worked with knew about with his childhood, like something happened to him, and that's either with school or with the acting career. It is connected in his adult life. It was connected to it's playing out in the court because it's a lawsuit that may have been happening for a long period of time. It's very private, is what I'm feel the need to emphasize. The Four of Pentacles is here next to the spiritual self, and the Four of Pentacles is, you know, it's power. There's power in a penny. You say they're getting rid of pennies. Like I don't think they're even producing pennies anymore. But there's power in saving money. Four of Pentacles is holding on to what you have left. What you have left out of hearing that you're not going to get something that you thought that you were going to get. Whether that's related to a payout or I also get a secret account. That's related to a secret account as well. With the Two of Wands next to that Four of Pentacles. That's related to a secret account. And the Queen of Wands, the public defender, may have been, that could even be the energy. There multiple people could be showing up on this one card. But one energy that I'm also getting is that individual or one of them is responsible for overseeing some type of account, that a secretive another account that he had, that maybe he discussed with them, or a lawyer, that could be a lawyer or an accountant, financial advisor, that he wasn't going to touch until his daughter became a certain age, or she can't touch until she becomes a certain age, or himself. Or himself. Four of Pentacles with the Two of Wands there. And I'm also getting this idea of I don't want it. When I said that, I don't want it. Like, I don't want the money. I don't want the account. I don't want the headache. I don't know. There could have been a really stressful issue with having to keep a particular account. Maybe he had an account that he had to keep paying for. There's that. I mean, there was an account that he had to keep paying for. And I'm getting excursions. So it's an account that he was paying for that is it was only to be used for excursions. And maybe he didn't want to pay for that anymore, and that could have upset somebody around him too. But that was also benefiting somebody around him, or friend, a partner of some kind. And I'm feeling like it's there's a yes, the energy of his wife. I'm not feeling her heavily, but he was married, so her energy could be involved in this. But I'm also getting a male friend. A male friend was disgusted by something, and that male friend being disgusted, the male friend is disgusted by what Malcolm wasn't able to get or obtain that would have been due to the friend. I don't know if they made some type of promise of some kind. I don't know if he made some type of promise to this male friend that was involved with his marriage. Like, it feels like he was, I don't know what type of friendship that was, but it's feeling like a beneficiary. Like, he had a male friend that he sat down and discussed with that male friend. For example, if something happens to me, I want you to be, what do you call it? I want you to be the head of this account if something happens to me. And that's a discussion that he's having with a male friend. And I feel like a lawyer might have disagreed, or his wife probably disagreed. There were some women or however he discussed that with, that disagreed with the reasonings. You know what it is? I'm getting this idea. Sorry. I'm getting this idea. Right when I said the reasonings, that it's almost as if somebody that he really, like, I felt like there was a male that he really put trust in to become almost like a brother to him, but at the same time a father figure to his daughter if something were to happen to him. And that individual became disgusted by a choice that he made, or something that individual became disgusted by a choice that he made, or something that he told him that he was going to give him, or a title that he was going to bless him with. He decided that he wasn't going to give him. If that makes any sense. I'm trying to interpret it the best way that I possibly can. And I feel like that caused that caused depression and anxiety and grief on the friend's end, the wife possibly, and him. That caused a lot of grief. So I'll give you a perfect example before I move on. If I'm working as an actor, and I have my funds are going into an account, and of course with every like I said from before, like a Roth, an IRA, a Fidelity, a trust, or whatever it is, Coogan, if I'm an actor, I'm putting money aside, and I don't realize there's interest. Like, I don't, there's an issue with interest. That could have been his situation. There's an issue with interest, but there's also an issue that money that is being put aside is being impacted by a lawsuit or something suing related. So I don't know if he was getting sued, or the fact that he was involved in a lawsuit that had something to do with somebody getting sued. And because of that was potentially causing issues with what he had aside as an actor, or with a chapter on the board of a school, something like that. That caused financial problems, a web of financial problems, it seems like. Four of Pentacles in the spiritual self, next to the Two of Wands. It caused a web of confusion and financial issues. But somebody on the side is disgusted because that person, for one, I'm getting, they don't understand finances, or they don't understand whoever that was that he was tied to, or however many people it was that he had this connection with. They don't understand an actor's fund. They don't understand that or and how that works. Like how he had an account for excursions. Like that's another idea that somebody may not have been understanding, is what I'm getting. And it caused somebody to be angry and upset, I guess. I don't know. The Ace of Cups is in the, what is that? That was the instincts. And the Ace of Cups is a relationship. All right. The Ace of Cups is a relationship. So up here is the headspace. It's also tangible, but it's also headspace. Okay. So you have the Queen of Wands with the Ace of Cups. This is a bond that he had with this person. Like I said, this individual's involved with his legal affairs, and also I'm getting a wedding too. Somebody was involved in a wedding, or that this could be. And I don't know what the wife's sign is. I don't know if the wife is embodying this. The wife could have fire in her chart if she's not a fire sign, or this is somebody separate. This is a, I'm getting a matriarch. I don't know if his mother was living or not, or a motherly figure that he was really close to in his life, somebody he considered like mom. This individual, something's going on with them. Something's going on with them and a wedding. And a wedding. I don't know if he's going to somebody's wedding. He was planning to travel to somebody's wedding. Like they say he was in Costa Rica, but it's like he may have been traveling to somebody's wedding. Like there could have been something wedding related about the travel or something like that. With the Ace of Cups and the mentality. You know what I'm also getting? I'm looking at the Ace of Cups and I'm getting this idea of reconnecting with an old lover. Like reconnecting with a past lover. A past lover. Someone that he was a woman. I don't know what his sexuality was like, but there was a male energy that was, there was a disgusting man that was surrounding him. Like I feel like there was a man around that he had also that was disgusted by. I'm also getting like his choices in women. Like somebody was aggravated about the choice, like the female choice that he went with. Somebody was aggravated by that for some reason. Like it had anything to do with them, but somebody was aggravated by that, and it could have something to do with the fact that they weren't chosen. So this could either be the energy of an ex-girlfriend that wasn't really sitting right with the idea of him moving forward to be with someone else, or a guy. So there's like two women involved and a guy or something that are like behind the scenes. Like his current wife, I feel like, is the target to somebody else's feeling. I don't know if the wife felt that way about another woman he was trying to. I was getting this idea of reconnecting with an old lover, like a past lover, and maybe his wife didn't like that, or the past lover didn't like the idea that he was with his current wife, and that caused issues. And money is behind that. Like money, of course, is behind that too. I keep getting this lawsuit idea with that. Like I feel like he was one of a percentage of people involved in this lawsuit, that only a percentage of people know about this lawsuit. It's very hidden. It's very quiet. It's very select. You know, it's very select. Like it's not on the news. Select this information about this particular lawsuit. And it could be related to the defamation, what I was getting from before. It's very private. It's very private. And I feel like a lawsuit, if the suing and the whatever was at the school, the acting, the awards, and the money that he's supposed to get, and a lawyer trying to help him get that together, and somebody is watching what he's getting, or he thought he was going to get something and they told him that he's not going to get it. But that trickiness from one of these Queen of Wands energy is that they managed to get something to work for them in connection to him, if that makes any sense, in connection to him, or what he was supposed to be due. If that, if something that he was supposed to be due, they stole, or whatever it was. Is this another scenario? Is you're connecting with, if I'm you connecting with an ex-lover and their objective is to find out what's going on with your money. That may literally be the sole reason as to why they're connecting with you. And but maybe he didn't see that. I don't know. That could have been something that he did not see. The Aeon is here, and the changing judgment is changing. So outside of everything that I was channeling, picking up just now, he may have faced the judgment is what caused the burden in the present, and it's changing. Or if he may have been getting judged. I keep getting this idea of a male friend. A male friend was judging him about a female choice, about a choice to sue somebody. I don't know. I don't know if he was suing an ex, or I don't know who he was suing somebody, or I don't know, somebody was suing him. He was trying. There's an element of suing that's happening, and the judgment is that I don't know. He either somebody could have coerced him not to, or the person that he was suing. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. Somebody could have coerced him not to sue. Maybe they promised that they would give something back that they stole. Maybe that could have been a promise. Like there could have been a promise that I'll give it back. You know, if you don't follow through with this lawsuit, or if you don't follow through if you don't sue me, if you don't this, that, and the third, I'll leave you alone. Like I'll leave the family alone. I'll leave you alone. If you don't sue. This is somebody that's really begging to not be sued, or they're begging somebody that took something and they're really and they could have used it or whatever it was, and they're begging to not be put to blame. Basically, like they're begging to not be put to blame. Okay, but the judgment is changing, so whatever he was judged for potentially trying to do, that changed. Judgment from a friend, a wife, an ex-lover, or one of them. I don't know. He was doing the judging on them, on one of them, or all of them. I don't know. There's something happening, but it's in a changing position. Or a judge made a choice. Something changed. There's an option that an actual judge made. Like if I'm looking at the Hierophant, they look like a judge. There's an option. There's a choice that a judge was about to make that changed everything. That changed everything. That's what the Five of Cups is making it seem, as though whatever the judge did, whatever the choice the judge made, like even these two colors look similar here. Like you got victory in the starting point. You have the Hierophant here as the judge in the accomplishment, but then this is changing. Like look at all the colors. These got similar colors, all that yellow, all that orange. And I feel like a choice that a judge made caused a Five of Cups. Something may have been lost. He may have lost something. He lost something. He lost something. He lost something related to some type of defamation or something being stolen. Somebody he reconnected with, probably may have stolen something from him. And the judge is like, there's no way to get this back, whatever it is. From a chapter, from being on a board of a school, the acting, someone connected to the acting stole something, or whatever. He's like, how much? Like, how much did I lose? Or somebody did something really crafty where an amount that he was given or he was due, it got taxed a lot. I don't know. Something happened with that. Or it's somebody, I get it reinvested. Somebody reinvested it. It's a percentage of funds that he had. It got reinvested by somebody. I don't know if he reinvested something, and he could have tried to reinvest something that the outcome of that reinvestment may not have been a probable one. Or somebody else around him did that with something, with money, like funds that was his. And something crashed and burned with them doing that, but it impacted him with the Ten of Wands and the Five of Cups in the future. It impacted him like exponentially on a financial note. Wow, interesting. The Tower is in the resolution sign of Scorpio. So the signs that I see here, I see Taurus. There's a lot of fire, so obviously this fire sign. Queen of Wands. And the Tower is Scorpio. I mean, those don't have to be anybody's signs, but I feel like there's a lot of, it's really prominent here. The Tower, there's a lot of water here too. This is the only card that has water in it. Okay, and it does look like somebody's in it. The water, you know, he could have been like the aspect of, you know, what they said happened. The aspect of that is like having financial issues with the Tower and just not knowing what to do and feeling like you're kind of just metaphorically drowning in it, you know. The Tower and the Five of Cups. The Tower is disapproval coming in, and then Five of Cups. So it's like getting hit by news that's just not, it's just not sitting right with you. It's news that's just not sitting right, you know, and it's mainly there is a trial too going on. So I don't know if this is like there's a trial that is it could be currently happening or is happening. It could be currently happening. There's a trial that is going on here. And the trial is in connection to the defamation, the lawsuit, the suing, the stolen, the something being reinvested. There's a lawsuit, lawsuit, whichever was going on there. There's a trial going on surrounding that. There's a trial surrounding that. But it's connected to his career. Like it's that's connected to his career is what I'm getting. Okay? Let me see what the Five of Cups is talking about. What's the Five of Cups talking about? Two of Swords. That's peace. Making peace with grief, making peace with disappointment. Truce. Making peace with disappointing outcomes. Making peace with that. Making peace with it. So now what I'm looking at here is that we're going to do the outcome. And I'm going to see what is going on with the outcome that may be able to help us understand. So it looks like he was dealing with a lot right here. And there's a trial that is going to be taking place, or it's already taking place. Like it's a trial that is going on. All right, let me do an outcome. The Princess of Wands is underneath. Younger fire sign. The Nine of Swords is here with cruelty. Knight of Wands. And seven. You know what? Let me not do that. Let me start with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords here. The Nine of Swords energy kind of goes hand in hand with the Ten of Wands because it's there were a lot of sleepless nights that he was experiencing. He did indulge, like there's some elements of indulging, but that's only because something was lost or something was stolen or something that he thought he was going to get. Somebody tricked him into thinking he was going to get, but that was just their way of enacting a lawsuit, if that's the case. Like getting it issued out is getting that done. Like starting a lawsuit, period. to get something back, to reinvest something the way they wanted to invest it, if that makes any sense. Then if funds related, whatever it is, with the nine of swords there. Let me do clarification. And the six of success, the six of pentacles with the nine of sword. All right, so I keep getting the idea of a reinvestment. There's a reinvestment that is taking place. Something is getting reinvested. So the money that he made from his career is getting reinvested into something else, into his child's fund, like his child's trust fund. Or I don't know if it's a house or a car. I don't know. It could be property. It could be some type of asset like that. But I also feel like it's going into something for his child. Something for her child as well. Like if I look at the card, there's a child there, and maybe like there could have been a situation. Maybe he was thinking someone was being cruel about the fact that he wanted to keep somebody could have been cruel about his child, like the fact that he probably, like what he was trying to do, like he was trying to keep money aside for his child, but whoever stole or whoever swindled or whatever issue he had with someone, that he deemed them to be taking something away from his child. So now what's happening, lawsuit related, suing, whatever it is that's happening here, that's going to change. Like that's why the judgment is changing too, and the tower is here in the resolution, because now something is now going to get reinvested for the child. That's why the six of success is there. Something will get reinvested for the child, and she won't be able to access that until she's probably about 18 years old. I'm getting 18. Well, his birthday is the 18th of August, but I feel like the child is not going to get something until she's 18. So the child is really involved in a law. Something that's going on with the child is really involved with the lawsuit too. But that's only, I get it, like it's giving me this idea of discrepancy funds. Like there's discrepancy funds that someone's trying to reinvest discrepancy funds. Or invest them, period. Like someone's trying to do that. Or he could have been doing that. And it was just a matter of trying to figure out a way to get around things to do that. Like maybe someone... Oh, I see what's going on. So what I'm feeling led to say is that if another interpretation, if somebody's granting me $10,000, just a very minor example. I'm sure you probably have more than that. Someone's granting me $10,000, but I have a kid that maybe the kid isn't mine. Maybe it's somebody else's. Maybe I'm just taking care of the child. Whatever. Just an example. And like 5% of that, I want to reinvest for the child, but someone has an issue with that. That's why the Nine of Swords is there. Someone has an issue. You're telling someone, I want to invest, I want to reinvest, or I want to invest, period, 5% of this fund that I'm receiving from my acting career for my child. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Or no, you told me I could have that. Or somebody feels, a woman, an ex-friend, a friend, an ex-woman, somebody feels very entitled to that. And he's like, no, this is for my child. And that caused a burden. Too many people involved, basically. It seems like there were too many people involved with his financial choices. I don't know why I feel drawn to give this idea of like, I don't know why they feel drawn, or why they felt drawn to have so much control. I don't know if this could actually be related to some type of disability. It doesn't have to be an intellectual one. It could be it could be related to an intellectual disability. I don't know if he had one. That could be something like, I don't know. He could have had an intellectual disability, like a speech issue, reading, writing, math, some type of disability that could be why somebody felt like he was making mistakes with money. Maybe he didn't understand something, or a contract. Like maybe he didn't understand some type of contract, and that could be why the lawyer, like something got switched up on him. But he had an intellectual disability. I feel like, or a minor one, that is what caused something to happen the way that it did here. Let me do another outcome. I don't know if the child has. I don't know. Let me see. 6 of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I knew that card was going to come out. The Death card is here. A Scorpio. So there's a Scorpio there too. A Scorpio. I'm seeing Scorpio twice in this spread. In a fire sign, female or male, and a Taurus. Could be other signs involved. I'm just going by major arcana. But the 9 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles with the Death card is not being able to see something, and not being able to see the outcome of how something is going to go, whether that be for the child or just the outcome of a lawsuit, a suing situation, something going on. Like maybe something was going on. Somebody was bound to be arrested that was around him. Someone was close to getting arrested is what it looks like. But maybe something turned around in that person's favor because of what they... okay, I understand. Somebody, so many interpretations. Another interesting idea is that the intellectual disability part is that someone could have been on the verge of getting arrested, but they said that they said that they that they had an intellectual, that somebody tried to claim some type of disability, whether he did or somebody around him did that's involved here. Somebody tried to claim that to save themselves, and it has to do with his personal, like his money and his financial things and what was going on, lawsuit related. Someone could have been like, I have a disability. I didn't know, I didn't read that properly. I didn't read that well, or I didn't see that fine. I didn't read the contract. I didn't understand the contract. I didn't know that was the case. So that could have been him, or somebody else around him that tried to claim that on themselves. Whatever it was. Like a mistake, almost like a mistake in plain sight. Like someone made a mistake in plain sight. So he made a mistake in plain sight, or someone else did. Someone did something in plain sight. Whatever that's what it's telling me. Someone did something in plain sight. Like they did, like, it's like looking at something but really not understanding it. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know. It's very, or that could have been how he felt about a relationship, or who he had around him that was trying to help him, like a lawyer or like some type of attorney, a financial advisor, or a mentor. Like I'm looking at the Queen of Wands. One of them is showing up like a mentor. Like something's also sneaky. Like there's some type of sneakiness. Someone could have been telling other people that he had some type of intellectual disability, and they quietly used that against him in a lawsuit. I don't know, somebody that he was involved with his acting career. Somebody quietly used that against him, whether he had one on paper or not. But it's determining what is happening with a fund that he was due to receive, that he wanted a percentage of that fund allocated to a fund for his child. Something like that. So that's what is happening. It's a trial. It's definitely a trial that is taking place, if it didn't take place already. Okay? Alright, so that was Malcolm Jamal Warner. If you have questions, comments, and or concerns surrounding his case, you know where to find me. Be well. Take care. Bye.